Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us today for our Nexford Virtual Tour this November. We are just going to wait a few more minutes for more people to join us. But for the attendees that have joined us already, I would love to learn more about you guys. Please feel free to jump on the webinar chat and introduce yourself. Let everybody know a bit more about yourself. From where in the world are you joining us from today? And which Nexford program do you wish to apply to? I see a good afternoon already from Favor in the chat. Happy to be here. It's great to have you as well. Thanks for joining us today, Favor. Have you started your Nexford application yet at Nexford? And are you seeking a degree program or perhaps a single course or a short certificate? Got Lewis from Nigeria and Kem Favor from Nigeria also. MBA, great choice, definitely a popular one. Hi, Anastasia from Zambia, great to have you. Partners from Zambia as well, interested in an MBA, fantastic choice. Have you guys explored the different specializations yet for the MBA, or are you opting for a general MBA? Hi, Ronald from Mombasa, Kenya. Hello, hello. Okay, so Louis and Anastasia are interested in BBAs. Ronald's interested in an MBA. Okay, great. I'm happy to see representation today for the BBA also. I know a lot of people normally are seeking master degree programs. And if anyone's already started their application, please let me know in the webinar chat as we wait for more attendees to join. Okay, we've got some confirmations here. Lois is done with his application already, as well as Favor and Anastasia. Happy to hear that, guys, especially since our next intake is coming soon, starting soon. We will be talking more about the application and enrollment steps towards the end of the webinar today, so everybody can learn more about how to get started in case you do not know yet. Okay, I think we can get started. We've waited around 5 minutes for more people to join. Hi, Evelyn. Thanks for joining us from Nigeria today. All right, let me start by introducing myself to everybody. My name is Mai, and I'm a senior Nexford Application Specialist. I have been with Nexford for more than 5 years now, and during that time, I have spoken with many aspiring learners, such as you guys, and I've received similar questions about the online learning experience. You know, the common ones we get are, how am I going to study online at Nexford? How can I get access to the materials? Am I going to find everything I need online? What kind of support am I going to receive during my journey? How does the online platform look like? Can I connect with other learners? Are there exams? And so on. I get a lot of those questions, and I'm sure you have come today with your own set of questions about the learning experience at Nexford. So this is why we are hosting this Nexford virtual tour. And I have with me today co-hosting Dr. Bill Reed, one of our faculty members at Nexford. And I've also got a graduate and a learner. So we've got Saron joining us from Ethiopia, and we've got Olusola joining us from Nigeria. So I'd love for everybody to introduce themselves also. So if we can please start with Dr. Bill.
Thank you, Mai. Hi, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Welcome. We're going to spend the next few minutes talking about Nexford and our programs and how we think they can help you in such a great way. I live just a little bit south of New York City and about 100 kilometers south of New York City. I've been here most of my life, although I've moved around a little bit. I've been working in academics for 27 years now, mostly online, working in graduate and doctoral programs. And I enjoy what I do very much. And I hope that comes through a little bit because I love talking to students. I love talking to people who want to improve themselves through academics and learning and build upon your own toolkits. So a little later on, I'll come back and talk a little bit about a course and we'll go over that. And I'll certainly be here for your questions at the end. So thank you for joining us and I'll see you in a little bit.
Awesome. Thanks a lot, Dr. Bill. I'd love for us to get introduced to Saron next.
Thank you, Mia. Hi, everyone. My name is Saron Habtemichael. I am a passionate public health leader. For the past 4 years, I have experience working in communities. My background consists of biology and an MBA in sustainability. I graduated from Nexford in 2024 of January of this year. And since graduating, it's been such a great experience. Right now, I'm working as an executive director for a nonprofit organization here in Ethiopia. I look forward to this webinar, and if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask me. Thank you.
Incredible. Thanks for sharing, Saron. Okay, can we please hear from Olusola next as well? Sorry, Olusola, we can't hear you. I believe your mic is on mute.
Is it better?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. I'm still the present. I'm a student, and I run my companies. And in the list of it is 8 years, and I just wanted to do something different, and I found, and I fell in love with Nexford. And I've been a very strong advocate for selling Nexford. To my generation, I took it up to educate people that you can actually have a good education, stress-free education. So being with Nexford has been, it's as if I've never been to university before, Nexford. So I think it's going to be a beautiful time out for those online listening. It's going to be a blast. And you are in the right place. That's what I can say. So I'm sure that this webinar is going to change your life. You know, when you are in a system where education is stressing people, and then you have that privilege to lead people, to show people the way, that's a great gift. So education is very important and vital. And then it's an honor to be here, to be one of the panelists, and to share my little wisdom that has helped me to navigate through all this while. So thank you, Dr. Bill and Mai and Saron for this opportunity.
Thank you so much, Olusola. Those are very inspiring words from the beginning of this webinar today. So I hope everyone's excited. We're about to get started. I know there are more attendees that have just joined. Don't worry, you haven't missed much. We've just gotten introduced to the lovely people helping me co-host today in this webinar. And just to let everybody know who's just joined, we have a Q&A section or a Q&A segment where you can drop your questions and we will be having a live Q&A at the end of the webinar. So please, if you have any questions at all about the Nexford learning experience or perhaps the application or enrollment process or anything that comes to mind, if you have questions for the learners or for Dr. Bill, this is why they're here also today to help answer those questions for you. And this webinar is being recorded, so you can watch a playback once it's uploaded on our YouTube channel. All right, guys, we shall get started. I'll start sharing my screen with everybody. Everybody see my screen? All right. I'd love from the if they can just raise their hands to confirm that you can see my
good
screen.
now.
Okay. All right.
Matt, we're
Fantastic.
good now.
So before we get started and before I start sharing, how the online platform at Nexford looks like, I just want to talk a little bit about Nexford University because I know some of the attendees have already gone through the application process. Perhaps you've already spoken with, a Nexford Application Specialist who's assisted you through your application. Perhaps you already know the enrollment process down to a T. But I know there are some attendees today that are still learning about Nexford University, and for that, I want to give everybody a bit of a brief, about Nexford. Nexford University is designed for a global audience that's looking to build in-demand skills while earning recognized and accredited credentials. We have reimagined what a modern university experience looks like. We've torn down the walls of the traditional campus, and we've designed a modern learning experience that is 100% online. By leveraging technology, we deliver world-class education at a fraction of the cost of traditional universities. And our programs are future competency-based, which enables you to build practical skills that you will use to get ahead in your career. Are a lot of benefits at Nexford University, which we will be talking more about, especially as a Nexford learner, the kinds of career-focused benefits that you get along with the online platform. We will be covering that. But I want to talk about accreditation, especially since I know the common question we get in these webinars. We've gone through the platform and the application. I often get this question in the Q&A. Just want to clarify this for everybody from the start, that Nexford is accredited by the Distance Education Accrediting Commission, which is the DEAC for it. The DEA is listed by the U.S. Department of Education as a recognized and is also recognized by the Council for Higher Education Accreditation, short. Certifies Nexford is it and can provide high quality education that meets, and it will be easier for you to use programs at other institutions to another university. Happen already and past. Also, life education. Washington D.C. is a licenses all physical universities operating in Washington, D.C. We're also in the International Association, which is ACE. Everybody can learn more about accreditation or recognition. Please feel free to share it in the Q&A box or the Q&A segment. And like I mentioned, we will be taking questions at the end. All right. With that, I will start sharing my screen for the online learning platform. I see we have our first question in the Q&A. I'm happy when I see people dropping their questions already in the early portion of the webinar. Right. So what everyone's currently looking at in dashboard of our online learning platform, and the learning management system that we use at Nexford is called Canvas. It is very user-friendly. We'll be talking about some of the basic features of how to navigate through Canvas today. And it's important to know there's a mobile application that anybody can download. It's called Canvas Student. You're free to you're welcome to, download it today. However, you're not going to be able to access the online platform until you get enrolled. Only after you get enrolled, you get your login credentials or your login information through which you can access the online platform and check out your courses and so much more. So you do not have to be an Android user to download this application. You can have an iPhone as well and download it. And through the application, you can study on the go. You can check your courses. You can even do some assignments. You can get connected with faculty members or fellow students and so much more. However, you will be required, of course, to have a PC, a personal computer, or a laptop in order to do your studying at Nexford, especially if you're studying a degree program. There are proctored assessments at the start, middle, and end of your program, and those are some of the closest things we have to exams at Nexford. We're not like a traditional university, so we do not grade you based on exams, in every module. Rather, there are assignments that are graded as well as final projects, and those are what form your overall GPA during your studies at Nexford. So we're in the main dashboard here, which you will have access to, like I mentioned, once you get enrolled. Before you can start your official Nexford program, you have to complete the NXU Orientation. So NXU stands for Nexford University, and the orientation course is sort of your welcome package once you get enrolled, and you can finish it in as little as 30 minutes. It'll tell you everything you need to know about the online platform, how to navigate through it. You'll get access to all of the academic resources and different services. You'll learn all about the university policies and also get tips on how to succeed with online learning. So let's have a look at the modules here. You'll see there are modules 1 through 4. So it's not very many. A conclusion to the orientation. Before we jump into module 1, I just want to show you for comparison one of the other courses. This is one of the MBA courses at Nexford, and I just want to show you how it's set up differently, how a standard Nexford course may look like. You'll see there are more table of contents over here, and then the modules would normally be 6 modules, including a final project. So you'll see module 1 through 6. Obviously, there are many more sections in every module. And if I just scroll to the bottom here, you'll see module 6 right here, as well as the final project. All right, but we can get back to that later. Let's just go back to the NXU orientation here and the introduction part. Right from the beginning, you'll see that there is a welcome video from our founder and our CEO, Fadl Tarzi, where he tells everybody a bit more about Nexford and Nexford University's mission and how we got started. So I'd like to play this for everybody just for a couple seconds.
It's been said that the future is a convenient place for dreams, so why not dream big? I've always known education changes lives, but I first realized its impact over a decade ago. On my entrepreneurial journey, I saw a gap between the skills of college graduates and the needs of employers. With my own startups, I struggled to find people with the right competencies. For example, I couldn't find a software engineer with effective communication skills. I couldn't find the creative designers who could plan. I thought to myself, is this why unemployment stats of college graduates grab so many media headlines? And it's not a graduate's fault. Burdened by heavy debt, cohorts of learners walk away from university unprepared for the workplace. That's why I set out to create a university for you, one that I'm convinced has the potential to positively impact lives as well as millions worldwide. I'm Fadl Al-Tarzi, and I can proudly say that I'm the founder and CEO of Nexford University. Expect NXU.
All right, guys, hopefully you can watch this in its entirety once you get enrolled at Nexford. I do want to say that this video right here has a written transcript, which is the case for videos within your modules. You'll often find a written transcript you can download, which can be super useful once you're studying. And this video is also an example of the different and dynamic elements through which you're going to be doing your studying at Nexford. So it's not just going to be a lot of text. We don't want our learners falling asleep. So you'll find a mix of videos like these. You'll find downloadable resources, interactive exercises, and sometimes embedded audio clips within your modules and so much more. So there's always something to keep you engaged. And in Canvas, you'll get ready for practical, real-world assignments that will help build your skills and your portfolio. I hope we get a chance to show you some of that today. But as you progress through the orientation course, you'll see that from the beginning, we're encouraging you to join WhatsApp study groups. It's really useful to have a study buddy from the beginning of your program. And we have learners from more than 110 countries around the world today. So you'll find WhatsApp groups that are country-specific, program-specific, or intake-specific. You'll also get the option to get connected with a peer mentor. So peer mentors are current Nexford learners that are dedicated to making you feel welcome and helping you get settled in the new learning environment. You can even be a peer mentor yourself a little later on, but if you do want to get connected with any available peer mentor, just contact our learner success team. You'll see the information right here, and I will be talking more about who exactly is our learner success team. And then you'll see that within the courses, there is a discussion forum where you can interact with other learners and, have certain lively discussions about the course content. But for the NXU Orientation, you're getting prompted here to just introduce yourself to the community for the first time. You can feel free to drop a link for your LinkedIn profile or just let everybody know why you joined Nexford, what your goals are, more about your previous work or educational background or so on. And at the bottom here, this is normally where you would see the different posts from different learners, and you can engage with them, react to their posts and so on. But of course, I am not a Nexford learner, so this is a demo account. So there are some limitations here. You'll see the topic is closed at the bottom, but this is normally where you would see other learners having discussions. As you move forward, you will then get access to the different resources, such as the Learner Success Resource Center. You'll get access to the Nexford University knowledge base, and then learn all about the university policies. All right. We're just having some internet challenges today. But you will get a guide through the dashboard, which is basically what we're doing today, but then this will help you know how to navigate through all the different areas in Canvas and how to access your courses at any time. And then you'll have full control over the type of notifications you receive as you study at Nexford. And finally, how you can get additional help. So I did mention the Learner Success Team earlier today. Our Learner Success Team is comprised of success advisors that are posted all around the world, which gives you almost 24/7 access to contact them. You can schedule a call with them. You can reach out to them on WhatsApp, or you can send them an email, and it can be about anything related to your learning experience. Even if it's to, you don't know how to get connected with your professor, for example, or anything like that, anything that has to do with studying online at Nexford or your assignments or so on, they're the go-to team for you, and they'll be able to assist you further. If you're instead having technical difficulties, you might want to reach out to our IT support team instead. So I did mention that you can get connected with your professor. If you're enrolled in any course, let's say the leadership and organizational development course, you'll see there's a people section. And this exists in every course. This is where you can see who are the other learners that are enrolled in the course with you. You would normally see a long list of learners here, and under the column of role, you can look for student or teacher. So students would obviously be all the the fellow students that are with you in the course, and then teacher would be the faculty member teaching that course. You should be able to click on their name and get any contact information if you want to reach out to them before you even start your course. So for this specific course here, Leadership and Organizational Development, Dr. Bill is teaching this course, so I'd love for Dr. Bill to talk more about this course.
Thank you, Mai. Yes, this is one of our. Thank you, Mai. Yes, this is one of our. I'm sorry, I'm getting feedback here. That's better. Yeah, maybe you could open up the modules, Mai, and we'll take a look at that first, and then we'll go into an assignment. But this is just a typical course laid out in similar format to every course is laid out basically the same way. You will see modules 1 through 6. One of the most highlighted points I like to make is the order and ease of understanding that the courses are presented in. What you're looking here is the roadmap of the course. It takes you from the first day till the last day. And each step through there is listed for you. Everything is clearly explained. Rarely do I get asked questions about what to do. I have taught at other universities, and sometimes that is a slowing point that hangs you up. I have not experienced much of that here at all. I've been with Nexford for, I think, just over 4 years now, 4.5 years. And the number of times I get asked about confusing instructions is almost non-existent. So it's very well laid out. And the platform we use, which Mai mentioned, is Canvas, is absolutely one of the most user-friendly platforms out there. And I've dealt with a dozen of them at least. So Mai, why don't we open up an assignment so we can get into that to demonstrate what I was just talking about the ease of understanding the work that's involved. Each one, the pick module, I don't care, 3 or 2, whichever one you care to do. The case for change, the number 2 is good. It just puts it out here to show you what's done. It starts off with the scenario, the overview of the scenario, and then the instructions. Easily understood, not complicated. And one thing is directly focused at the learning objectives of this course. Courses aren't just put together. There's a plan from the first course you take till the last course you take. That plan is to ensure that you learn the required information that you need to demonstrate your knowledge out in the field. So you will see this fairly well covered here by our course design experts who put these together in a strategic way to help you. The assignments are, as I said, easy to understand. They're not overly complicated. They're made for a learner to learn from and move ahead. We all don't know everything. I don't know everything. And we expect here to cover certain specific objectives of the program, whatever program you're planning on enrolling in. And it's done in a very clear and specific way. The courses, the program is set out so you submit your assignments on a schedule. They're reviewed within a few days, depending on the assignment. And then you get feedback from the instructor saying, hey, you did a great job on this part, but you were a little light here. You could have mentioned this, this, and this. That is information that you should really value and take to heart, so that in the next course and the next assignment, the next course, you do just a little bit better. I think for the most part, the instructors here are open to questions. I know I have at least 1 or 2 open sessions a month. And also, I'm perfectly willing to meet with you one-on-one if there's one section that's really holding you up and so on. I always tell the story that I think every one of you and everyone I've known comes to a point in a program, and this our learners can talk to later when they have the microphone. You always hit a hold up. You always hit that day that I just can't do this anymore. I don't understand it. I'm lost. And that's when you really have to hold together and move forward, because you're just about to learn something very important that day. When the wall is hard to get through, there's something important you need to know. So perseverance and your energy is so important. We can provide the information. That's the easy part. The hard part is to get through it, to understand it, and move forward. This is flexible, as it says in many of our promotions. This is moving forward at your pace. However, because of our accreditation, which is recognized by the Department of Education in the United States and worldwide, that we do have to have standards. So those standards are easily achieved when you devote a amount of time each week to your course and your schoolwork. being able to devote some time every day would be ideal. I know that's not possible with everyone's work and family, but if you touch this every day, you will succeed. And if you run into a problem, you can catch up the next day if you're dedicated to this and want to do it. It's not hard. It fits into your lifestyle. I'm sure our other speakers on the panel here can attest to this. And life events happen. Things happen. They're going to slow you up a little bit, but if you're staying on course and moving forward, you can do that. Using the feedback from your instructor to improve yourself further down the program. I'll stop there because I think maybe our learners and Mai will get their opinion on a few things, but I'll be back here and I'm here to answer your questions later and afterwards if you like. So thank you for the time, and I'll turn it back to Mai.
Hi, thank you so much, Dr. Bill. Thanks for those insights. If anybody has any questions about anything, me and Dr. Bill have covered so far, please just drop them in the Q&A section or the Q&A box, and we will get to your questions at the end of the webinar today. But I would like to ask a question for Olusola here. If you could just tell us some notable things about your experience studying at Nexford in terms of assessments or assignment submissions or any professor feedback.
Okay. Am I audible enough? Am I audible enough?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I think achieving academic excellence often involves a combination of effective assessment strategies. I use that word deliberately. Can they hear me? Mai?
Yes,
Am
we
I
can
good?
hear you.
Okay, because I can see myself first. I can see myself. Okay, yeah, fine. So, and timely assignment submission. I repeat, academic success. Okay, let me put it this way to answer that question. I have HND. I'm an HND holder. I'm also a BSc holder. I think I should enroll with Nexford pursuing my PhD. But I decided to start again as a BBA student because my first company was started. I started my first company 2009, and then the second next to it is I think about 9 years now. So I lost the first company based on lack of knowledge, but I have zeal. And the second one, I didn't want to make the same mistake. So I was looking for an institution that can impart knowledge. So last year, if I'm not mistaken, I started as a fresh student with Nexford. After discovering this point, I want to give as an overview for anyone that wants to study. I think studying has to do with lifestyle. It's supposed to be a lifestyle, not just because you just want to earn a certificate. And one of the things that I love so much about Nexford University is because everything is practical. If you have a dream, if you have a vision, you want to build an organization that will last for like 200, 300, 400 years, I think you are on the right path. 500 years, even when you are no more. So it's a place that, you see, when I realized that academic success often involves a combination of effective assessment strategy, timely assignment submission, and constructive professor feedback. Here are I just want to give you some notable aspects of each. Which number one, diverse formats. You see, this diverse format that I use now practically is engaging with various types of assessment, which is quizzes, essays, presentations, which helps to develop a range of skills. Don't forget my word. It's a practical school you are in, not just theoretical. And those theoretical exercises you go through in your classrooms are things that you will need to pursue your career career excellence, your business excellence, anything, even your family life, whatever it is. Okay, now there's what we call regular feedback, under assessment experience. You see, this regular feedback, frequent assessment provide opportunity for continuous improvement. You see, this thing, I look for it per second, not every day. Regular feedback. You just want to get feedback from your professor, your teachers, whatever. I will give you a point before I drop out of this discussion. Now, there's what we call self-assessment. Many of us don't do this. So if you want to enjoy Nexford University, you must develop a habit of self-assessment. Most times it's not the lecturer. Most times it's not the professor. Most times it's not the lecture or the course. It's a personal issue. So self-assessment, reflecting on your work, can highlight strengths and areas for growth. Now, the second point is assignment submission. Under assignment submission, you must understand what is called time management. Like for me, when I come to class, I overview the courses. I look at it from module 1 to module 6. I sketch it down, then, because what might work for me might not work for you. But you must find out that time management is everybody. Some people are bad with time management. You don't know how to structure your time very well, and you want to have good grades. You must be able to structure your time very well, which means planning and starting assignment early. For me, which reduces stress and improve quality. That's the truth. So number 2 points, understanding requirement. Before I jump into a module 1, I want to know the mindset of the lecturer, the professor. So many of I remember when I had A's in some of my questions. I think I still remember one of my professors that said, you have F during the introduction. If you don't do it this way, you have F. I think it's Professor McCoy. He said, you have F. I said, I won't have F. I've forgotten the requirement standards. I had F. I had F. I had F. I won't lie to you, I had F. You know what he did? He said, you didn't get the requirements right. I just love the constructive criticism. Guess what? When I went back to what he said, what he pointed out, guess what? The same course that I had F, I had A inside. That's the truth. And it told me that, see, this is the requirement, understanding requirement, carefully reading. Don't just be too quick to write exam and prove a point. Understand it. When you understand requirements, you follow it, when you carefully reading and following assignment guidelines, ensures all criteria are met. Before I close, drafting and revising, multiple draft and revision can significantly enhance the final submission. Lastly, I just said it, professor feedback. This constructive criticism, professor often provide valuable insights. Please, make sure you check your professor insight, can help refine your work. When I joined Nexford, I wasn't looking for friends first. I made friends with my sources advisors and my professor, because my mates, they do not have the knowledge. Everybody just trying to assume. So I leverage on professor feedbacks and the sources advisors. And guess what? The truth is that they have answers to all your problems. So when you are coming in, I would suggest that don't be looking for friends first. Make sure you befriend your sources advisor, and your professor, understand them, then you will be fine, because you are going to enjoy constructive criticism, then active learning, which is the last point. Paying close attention to feedback and asking questions can lead to a better performance in future tasks. Now, that is just what I can say in that area. Thank you very much, Mai, and then Dr. Beals. Also, Saron is there. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Olusola. Yes, so what Olusola also mentioned in regards to really understanding the requirements, I do want to talk a little bit about the grading rubric. I'll just share my screen here again for everyone. So I know we were viewing this assignment earlier. This is just an example. You'll find that for every assignment, there is a grading rubric or an assignment rubric that tells you more about the criteria of how to succeed in this course, right? Which areas, are required of you to try to meet, to gain, or to get the highest grades possible in every area. So you'll see here, for example, under requirements, the submission of your assignment, does it exclude essential components, or does it not address the requirements indicated in the instructions? If so, your grade might fall somewhere between 0 to 5 points here, as opposed to if your submission includes all components and exceeds all requirements and so on. You can see every criteria here has 20 points. So how's the content? How's the organization of the assignment that you submitted? How about writing clarity and quality, and then NXU formatting? So you're going to have access to this grading rubric before you even submit the assignment. So you know which areas you're expected to meet beforehand. And then here's an example of how you can, upload your assignment right here, drag the file here, or just choose a file to upload. Of course, there are different types of assignments also, depending on the course or the module that you're studying. So if anyone has further questions about assignments also and assignment submissions, please let us know in the Q&A. I see some people dropping questions in the webinar chat, and that's perfectly fine. But just to ensure we do not miss your questions, it's best if you drop them in the Q&A section so we can get to them at the end of the webinar. So since we are talking about, assignment submissions, I know it's been almost a year now, Saron, since you've graduated, but I'd love to ask you, how you found the Success Team support during your learning journey, in the case that you reached out to the Success Team, and were there moments you reached out to fellow learners for assistance?
Okay, yeah. Thank you so much, Mia. So hi, everyone. For those of you that weren't here earlier, my name's Saron, and initially when I enrolled into Nexford University's coursework, I was someone coming from a pre-med, heavy science background, so I had zero experience doing coursework that are online. So the first challenge for me after enrolling was really time management and understanding how the platform Canvas worked. So my first challenge would probably be when I submitted my assignment, and apparently I ended up submitting in the wrong section of that particular module. So I contacted my success advisors, and they kind of showed me like how to do it. To avoid this situation, my biggest advice is the first week, there's usually an orientation. So make sure you go through that and understand like what you're supposed to do. Overall, the success team was an incredible asset in my journey because number one, I would get phone calls from Washington, D.C. I'm based here in Ethiopia, just reminding me like, hey, you have an upcoming assignment coming up. Like, where are you at? Do you need support? So not in my entire, academic career, I've had that. And trust me, I've invested a lot in my education. I did my studies in the US. So that was really interesting for me. Secondly, whenever I had trouble with my assignments, I would reach out to a success advisor. Specifically, I used to ask them questions on how I can get external resources. And there is within your Canvas platform, you can access the library. So that's free. So I definitely recommend you utilize that. And in terms of reaching out to fellow learners, towards the end of my MBA coursework, like Mia said earlier, there's a section where you can have like discussions with other learners. And somebody from my coursework saw what I posted, and they just emailed me saying, hey, like, do you want to be accountable partners? Like, we can study together. And mind you, had that person not reached out, I promise you, I wouldn't finish in 1 year. It took me 1 year to finish the MBA course because we were both like calling each other. And when we had trouble with a certain assignment, we would even do like Zoom and discuss like how to tackle it. And I really recommend you find that person in Nexford, because it's not that Nexford is hard. It's just a lot about time management, balancing your work life and your school life. So I'm still very close with that learner. And sometimes we even like reach out and, talk on like what are our 2025 goals for this year. And some of these learners, they even wrote me recommendation on my LinkedIn, which has later on helped me get job promotions. So for me, it's not just the education, but the people that I was able to network with, and it's really enhanced my learning experience. So that's what I would have to say. I will add a few more tips on how to maintain those relationships later on. Thank you, Mia.
Incredible. Thank you so much for sharing, Sarah. And I'm super happy to hear that, just hearing the long-lasting effect of having reached out or allowing someone to reach out to you, a fellow learner, and then assisting you during your journey. And then the fact that you are still in contact with that person is amazing. You basically answered my next question for you, which was, did you manage to network with fellow learners or make friends with other learners? And so I'm super happy to hear that you've had that experience, and definitely some great tips in there. Also very realistic tips about, the challenges of online learning in general. It doesn't have to be hard, but that's why all these resources are there for everybody to utilize should they need it during their learning journey, whether it's reaching out to fellow learners, whether it's reaching out to success advisors at any point, or using the different resources in the online platform. All of that is there to assist anybody during their journey. And yeah, if anyone has questions around this area, guys, we're here to answer them, and we are nearing the end of the webinar today. So I'll just cover a couple more areas in the online platform, and then we'll hear some more from Saron as well as Olusola and Dr. Bill. Okay, I'll share my screen again, guys. Right. So I know that Saron mentioned, the library. So I do want to show everybody what she was referring to. So on the left side navigation pane here on Canvas, you'll see that this left side navigation pane follows you no matter where you go in the online platform. So you'll see a button here for the library. And the NXU library is a robust library of over 60 million resources that covers so many different topics. It's a great research tool for you to utilize while you're studying at Nexford. As you can see, these include encyclopedias, they include research papers, blogs, ebooks, and so much more. So this is just one of the many, things you have access to while you're studying at Nexford at no additional cost. It's already included in your Nexford tuition. Another benefit is LinkedIn Learning. So if you haven't heard of LinkedIn Learning, it is connected to LinkedIn, and normally you need a paid subscription to be able to access LinkedIn Learning. But as an Nexford learner, you'll have access to more than 16,000 LinkedIn Learning courses and videos at no additional cost. It doesn't have to be related to the Nexford program that you're studying. That's a great thing about it, is if you're interested in two different areas, perhaps you're studying business analytics at Nexford and you're interested in marketing, then you can check out marketing content here at LinkedIn Learning. And you'll find some LinkedIn Learning courses already embedded within your course content at Nexford. So that way there are some LinkedIn Learning certificates you'll be taking anyway once you go through that within your courses. So that's one of the benefits our learners definitely love, is that you do receive a certificate of completion once you complete a LinkedIn Learning course. Back to the main dashboard here. So just some other basic features on the left side navigation pane. Of course, courses will just give you an overview of the courses that you are currently enrolled in. Just to let everybody know, you can accelerate your studying pace at Nexford. So we do have a flexible pace structure. So it's not completely self-paced. There are, deadlines you need to meet for your assignments and for your productivity and so on, especially final projects. But you can accelerate your learning in that you can complete your course in 1 month instead of 2 months. You can even take up to 2 courses in a term, and a term at Nexford is 2 months. So as you heard from Saron, she was able to complete her program, her MBA program in just a year, and that's certainly possible as well. I know we have a lot of attendees today that are interested in studying the MBA as well. And then we've got the calendar. So you'll see in the calendar here, there are items automatically added depending on the courses that you're already enrolled in. You can play around with the view here if you want to get organized and do some planning. And you'll see these are color coded, which is something you can control from the main dashboard. So just some fun features on Canvas that's very user friendly. You could do a color overlay. So these are just some things to help you get organized. Then history will just take you back to the previous sections that you accessed in the online platform. So like we said, it really is very user-friendly, and you will have a guide through all of this anyway, how to navigate through the platform once you complete the NXU orientation. Then you've got the inbox here, which is one of the easiest ways also to communicate with fellow learners or perhaps a faculty member. Just pick a course that you're enrolled in, for example, leadership and organizational development. You should be able to see the option to speak with the students or a teacher. But since I am not an Nexford learner, this is just a demo account, so I'm only being given the option to speak with myself here. But you can select other learners that are enrolled in the course with you, put in a subject, and your message, and send. And it is that easy. Finally, I just want to cover the writing lab also. This is a resource you always have access to when you're studying at Nexford. You'll see that it's always in your dashboard here. And the writing lab, what is it all about? So we know that not every learner is a natural born writer, and for the types of assignments you're required to do at Nexford, there may be kinds of formatting you haven't used before. Perhaps you need help with your academic writing or your research, research tools or so on. If you just go to the modules area here, you'll see some papers as well as videos. So this covers some style guide. You get access to a lot of expert guidance. You get tips on how to master the latest techniques for ethical AI use in research and content creation. You'll see tips here also on English grammar and mechanics, paragraph structure, and so on. And again, you can always reach out to a success advisor, or even fellow learners, or your faculty member that is teaching the course that you're enrolled in. All right. I do not have access to my NXU here, guys, but this is also very, very useful. There is a My NXU wallet, which allows you to keep track of your tuition payments, check your balance, and so on. It's also where you can see your entire learning path. You can view your program progress and your scores. You can tap on any course to explore in-depth details, what you're going to learn, what skills you'll gain, and so on. All right. Next, I'm just going to cover, further career services that you have access to while you're studying at Nexford. So I know I already covered LinkedIn Learning. If you are based in Africa, you can also get access to IBM Digital Nation Africa, or IBM DNA for short. And it's for those that are more interested in technology or cybersecurity or AI or programming. And then we also have Forage. So Forage is already a free resource, and you can learn more about the different job simulations at Forage here. So we partnered up with them similarly like we did with LinkedIn Learning, and that you will find suggestions also within your Nexford program for Forage job simulation programs that you can take. The great thing is while they are job simulations, they're at real companies like JP Morgan and Accenture and so much more. You'll see they vary in difficulty levels, anywhere from intermediate to advanced. It can take a few hours to several hours and so on. And you'll also receive a certificate of completion once you do take a job simulation at Forage. So all of these are just many ways you can really boost your resume, you can sharpen your skills, you can learn additional skills outside of your Nexford program, and you will have access to all of this at no additional cost, so it's already included in your Nexford tuition. All right, I know we're nearing the end here, guys, so I do want to hear again from our learners. If we can hear from Olusola, if you can just let everyone know about your Nexford journey so far in terms of what some of your favorite parts are and what are some of your challenges.
Good day once again. My name is Olusola Osindeinde. I think my favorite part is access to resources. You know, I told you what brought me to Nexford is to gather knowledge so that you will not repeat the same mistake twice. To build a business is very easy. To sustain is hard work, and you need knowledge. You really need knowledge. And that's why I said, and I'm trying to emphasize it again, Nexford is not just giving you information just to pass and come out with a good grades. There are those informations, if you really know what you're doing, they are the greatest assets any institution can give anyone. Because you know, if you have not gone through something, you will not value something. You know, and what they are dishing out. That's why I want to know to be able to have access to resources. You know, one of the generosity aspect of Nexford is that also, you know, you are in class and you are receiving different certificates that boost your professionalism. That's awesome. Awesome experience. Awesome. That's huge. That's highest order of generosity. You know, another thing that I love so much is that when you have run a system where you can have access to all your information, you can see your grades, you can see your tuition fee, you can see everything about you on your dashboard, you know, from Nigeria to Washington, D.C. It's very, very humbling for me because, you know, when you have gone to different system of academic system and you are chasing one lecturer, he said one script, you know, the beauty of, let me just give you one experience. You know, when you say you have access to your information and resources, you know, you run is where the university in Nigeria here, where a lecturer will tell you your missing script, you're having a missing script, a missing things. That is not here. You know, it's so sad that you went to school and someone is telling you after you graduate, they can't see your score. You come to class, you do a lot of it, but that's not Nexford. You know, if you are not doing fine, I think it's a personal thing. It's not the institution. So that access to resources for me is something that I so much value. You know, aside academic class, where you can sit down and source for information, gather information, and print them out and put them into use. That is, you know, that is my favorite part. Aside the one I have explained with access to sources advisor and your professors. Okay. Another thing I love is that if they call you from Washington, D.C., you know, check up on you. You see a notification that your assignment is due. You know, that honestly looks so simple. But sometimes you just wonder, are they monitoring you? You know, that you have outstanding this and you have this. All those things are very, very touchy. So for those that are just coming in, I want you to take note of those things. Take advantage of the resources. Go beyond the classroom. And that's so the challenges is the adapting to an online learning, you know, where you log into Washington every day, and then you have businesses to run. You're on the street, you're on the road, you have family responsibilities. As I talk to you today, now I'm having this webinar in my children conference room, where I'm waiting for them to close by 3 o'clock. Then we take them. We can see adjust it. You know, one thing I like is that it has helped you to not to be too rigid. You know, it makes it to be very flexible. And the beauty about the challenge is, so I'm now okay in the area of, like Saron said, the area of time management. Now I can structure my time now. Most time I do online. You know, you just do online all night. You know, just trying to catch up and meet up, make sure you have good grades. And that's very, very interesting. So overall, the journey was enriching and provided valuable lessons that contributed to my academic and personal growth. So, which I want to be grateful for. I want to say thank you for the opportunity once again. And the beauty of it is that the favorite part is that, you know, I've introduced almost like 10 people, which definitely I put them through. And that is, like Saron said, it's very, very interesting when people, you have MBA students with you, and which is very, very good, you know. Different culture, that's lovely. I will do more. I will do more because people need to know what they are missing with Nexford University. They need to do. It's not just an institution. it goes beyond the institution, because if you have value for knowledge, okay, this is where to be. Thank you, Dr. Bill. Thank you, Maya. Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you so much, Olusola. Definitely inspiring words. All right, I know we're nearing the end here. We're about to take questions, guys. So everybody who has questions, please drop them in now. I just want to speak also a little more with Saron. If you can just let everyone know, what would you say your most favorite, or how would you say, sorry, your Nexford program has changed your life so far?
Okay, that's a great question. So for me, I would say Nexford significantly shaped my career path by basically empowering me with knowledge and practical skills, which kind of gave me the confidence to pursue new opportunities. Way before I even graduated, every time I, finish a certain course, I would always take that certificate and put it on my LinkedIn. And gradually, I think it was probably 6 or 8 months into the program, my profile started to boost. Like, people would go to my LinkedIn and like check me out. And mind you, by the time it was December, university from Russia, I'm based in Ethiopia, so I have no experience working with Russians. They reached out to me because they saw coursework that I did at Nexford, which was marketing, introduction to marketing, I think. And there was also this other course, change organization management. And every time I was certified for a certain course, I started doing that, which kind of helped me gain a really high paying job. I got paid in USD for a brand ambassador position. And personally, I'm not comfortable with, doing things like that. But the courseworks and the practical workshops that I did really helped me enhance my communication and leadership abilities. So gradually, I started gaining more hands-on experience working as an education consultant. And over time, I think it was when I selected the managing healthcare, which is an elective course. If you end up taking sustainability for your MBA, you're required to take that course. And in that course, there is a external, what do you call it? It's called Forge. Maya was talking about it earlier. I took a public health course just because, I'm very interested in community health. And really taking that course then really solidified my interest in public health. It helped me work with other students in my MBA course. And as soon as I graduated, I applied for my current position, which is executive director. And this is all to say that these coursework really add potential to who you are. It will increase your employability, and employers are very interested because these skills are very practical. So overall, what I would have to say is Nexford provided me with both theoretical knowledge, practice tools that are needed in our real world practical experiences. And overall, what I would recommend for people is don't be afraid to ask questions. People on Nexford are very supportive. They're there to help you, support you in anything. I am really a testament to Nexford. I've done a lot of, brand ambassador roles for them too, because they're very reliable. Right now I'm applying for a PhD program. I have sent my Nexford transcripts to schools in the US. And this is to say that you can be confident in what you're investing in, because for me, so far I've gained so much, not just job wise, but even in my own confidence. I'm not the person I was last year. So I'm very grateful for the opportunity that I'm glad I invested in this school. It's been tremendous help so far. Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Saron. I know you've said some really, encouraging things that I hope everybody, takes note of, some great tips as well. And I'm super happy to hear how Nexford has really, helped change your life and during the program and even in this past year. Have you got any final advice for current and aspiring learners?
Yes, I do. So I wrote down a few things from my own mistakes. So number one would be showcase your achievements. Always add your certificates to LinkedIn. It really enhances your visibility, and employers, your LinkedIn is like your online CV. That's where people want to see what you've done. Try to find people within the network community that can write you a good recommendation letter. Roshan, who used to be Nexford's marketing manager, was someone that, I just reached out and told her, like, hey, I'm interested to go into healthcare. And, I built that relationship with her, and she wrote me an amazing recommendation letter, which helped me secure a job. So make sure you're connecting with your professors, peers, because they are people that can provide invaluable resources in your career journey. Additionally, utilize LinkedIn Learning. That's not something I did back then because I was very busy, but now, looking back now, I really would have wished I took those free resources to build my skills, because right now I'm looking for, storytelling, data analysis, graphic design. These are skills that you need in whichever path that you go after your graduation. Fourth, engage with your community. Attending webinars like this showcase to me that you're pretty responsible and taking initiative. So keep doing that. Create study groups. At the time when I did my MBA, we had a June 2023 Nexford study group. And so everyone would, join that group. And if you ever have questions, you could always ask those questions in the group, or you could even do like Zoom meetings. So try to take initiatives, network, collaborate. These are very important things. Two more tips would be submit your assignments early. I know life is busy and it's very unpredictable, especially on holiday seasons. You will procrastinate. You're a human being. You will make mistakes. So try to submit at least 2 to 3 days early, just because sometimes you might have last minute problems like technical issues. And then finally, create the right test environment. I don't think this was mentioned throughout the webinar, but there are times when you're going to be required to take a live test. When you take that live test, make sure you have stable internet network, make sure it's a quiet place, and make sure your computer, whether it's Mac or Windows, is the right kind, because sometimes when you take the exam, if you don't have the right software, it can glitch, which causes a delay in your testing. So those are my main tips. I'm very active on LinkedIn. If you ever have any questions, you can always reach out to me. Thank you so much, Dr. Bill and Mia, and everyone who has joined today. I really appreciate this opportunity to talk about my experience.
Thank you so much for sharing, Sarah. And I just want to thank you and Olusola also for all of the insights you guys shared today and all of the inspiring, information that you've shared with all of our attendees. I know we've ran over a little bit in the webinar, so I do also want to thank the 25 attendees still on the call with us. We're here to take your questions. I see some questions already pending here in the Q&A segment, so we'll start taking them now. I see the first question here from an anonymous attendee saying, are there rubrics for each course assignment? I see the assignment tips, but what is it graded against? Can I give this question to you, Dr. Bill?
Sure. One of the best things we offer is that each assignment has a rubric, usually 4, 5, or 6 components. And it is, again, the map to you answering the assignment. It tells you what we're looking for, and it goes from the very, very high answer to a low answer. It explains what each category is. So the rubrics are there. Each one is answered by every instructor for each assignment. At the bottom of the rubrics, there's an area we can add our personal comments and do that. So my recommendation to students and learners are, when you start your assignment, go to the rubrics first, then go back and look at the assignment, read the assignment saying, oh, I saw that in the rubric, better include that part. So the rubrics are an extremely helpful tool for you to guide you in your learning through an assignment and ultimately the program.
Okay, perfect. Thanks for sharing, Dr. Bill. I see a lot of questions around assignments and grading process. It could be the same anonymous attendee, I'm not too sure, but another question here is, what is the grading process? Who grades the assignments and courses in general?
Well, your
So-
professor grades the assignments. Sometimes there's a graduate assistant, but that's not very common anymore. But in my course, I grade the assignment. I use the rubric and do so. The assignment needs to be returned to you. The standard is within 5 days of your submission date. For final assignments, I believe that's a 3-day requirement that we have it back to you, so you don't have to wait. My personal goal is 2 to 3 days on all assignments. Now, when large assignments are due, it takes a little extra. I might go 4 days or something, but I try really hard to do it in 2 to 3 days so that you can keep moving. And we grade it against the rubrics and any examples you have and so on in the general knowledge base of that particular assignment.
Great, fantastic. Thank you for sharing, Dr. Bill. All right, there's an anonymous attendee also asking, what happens if the deadlines are missed? Yeah, perhaps maybe Saron or Olusola, has this ever happened to you? And if so, what was your experience?
Yeah, so absolutely, that has happened to me. What happened is if you end up missing an assignment, I don't know if this has changed since last year, but for every day that you do not submit the assignment past the deadline, there's a 5% decrease in your grade. So it's okay if you miss the deadline, like, things happen, but you can always just submit it, but keep in mind there will be a 5% deduction to your grades. Like I said, try to aim to submit 2 to 3 days prior the deadline. It's always safe and best.
Amazing. Yes, I definitely agree, Saron. Just to let everyone know, as you saw earlier in the calendar, there are going to be reminders already added to your calendar depending on the courses, that you're enrolled in. So you should be receiving several, reminders before the submission date as well. Right. And if anyone has very specific questions about the grading system or in terms of deadlines, all of that information is available in detail in our university catalog. So there are different stages. I know I've received questions before from aspiring learners who asked, if I miss a deadline for an assignment, am I automatically going to get an F, or am I going to, be dismissed from the university? So it doesn't quite work that way. There are going to be different, I would say, circumstances to the delay in your assignment submission, such as the one that Saron mentioned. There are many steps before somebody might even be dismissed from the university. There are warnings, there's assistance from success advisors, there's so much. So all the details to that is listed in our university catalog. Okay, does anyone have any further questions? I see some questions here in the webinar chat. I see that Dennis was already responded to in terms of missing out on some points because you couldn't join the virtual tour earlier. So I just want to reiterate this for everyone, that this webinar is being recorded, so you can watch the playback once it's uploaded on our YouTube channel. So if you missed any of it, don't worry, it will be up for you to watch later on. And I believe this was responded to as well. This question from Michael Kiro saying, how many hours do I need to devote for learning every day? But I do want to answer this for everyone also so they can know. I would say anywhere. It depends honestly on the program that you've enrolled in. And it depends on your ability as well, because what you can complete in 1 hour may be very different than what the next learner can complete in that same hour, right? However, if you dedicate anywhere from 10 to 15 hours, for some learners, that's 15 to 20 hours that they need per week to do their studying, to complete their assignments and their final projects and so on. The great thing is there aren't any fixed class times. You can log in any time of the day, any time of the week, as long as you dedicate those hours and try to, meet those assignment deadlines, then you should be on track, and each course is designed to take you 8 weeks to complete. So that's the maximum amount of time for every course for you to complete it. That's honestly more than enough time for some learners, which is why a lot of learners are able to take more than one course at the same time or complete that one course in a month as opposed to 2 months. But even if that isn't possible for you, due to your schedule perhaps or other responsibilities, I have, heard a lot of stories from different learners that are studying another program next to Nexford, or perhaps they have family responsibilities, or their work hours are a lot, and they were still able to meet those deadlines as well as do their studying. So always reach out for support. Success advisors are there also to help you with goal setting, to help you reach your goals, and set up your study schedule in a way that suits you in your life. So you're going to have a lot of support also during your learning journey. And then what is the minimum time the master's program and PhD can take? So I just want to clarify, we do not offer postgraduate programs at Nexford at this moment. We do plan on adding new programs in the future. Are we going to add PhD or postgraduate programs? I'm not too sure at this moment. However, in terms of minimum time for the master's program, I believe it was 27 months. I'll double check as well and let you know. All right. So Dennis, I will need to double check and get back to you. What would be great is that if you can reach out to our team on WhatsApp, or send us an email at help@nexford.edu, and we can confirm for you also the maximum amount of time it takes to complete a program. But if the average duration for the MBA program is anywhere from a year up to 18 months, I would say, completing it in 2 years or more is honestly more time that than you would need, right? Like it's very doable to finish the MBA in a year or a year and a half. All right. And I know I didn't mention this today. I normally do. You can also take a leave of absence from your program at any point. Just let our team know, let our success advisors know. We understand that life happens, and for any reason, if you need to pause your program, everybody gets a leave allowance of up to 4 months if you're studying our MBA or a master's degree program, and that's up to 8 months if you're studying our bachelor's degree program. And if you need an extension, also something you can discuss with our team, and I know they're going to work with you to find a solution that best suits you. All right, guys, does anyone have any further questions? All right, I think that's everything, guys. I thank everyone for staying this long on the webinar. Thank you so much for your time. Thanks, Dr. Bill and Saron and Olusola for all your insights today. Thanks to all the attendees for joining.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Good luck all.
Thank you.